be able to pony one to the gate. It's pretty amazing.
He's a part of the family. And I think one of the reasons why he'll do all this for me is because he trusts me and he loves me. And I'm his mom, and if I say it's okay, then it's okay.
Cindy, when you name a rider on this horse and they get on the post parade and you tell them he's also a pony, what do they usually comment?
I don't usually tell them. I told a jockey before and he got all upset and he says, well, how do I steer him? What if he stops fast? So I just don't tell him anymore. Anne knows he's a pony and she's good with it. And Connie Curcio was going to ride one of my horses once, and she thought it was neat because she would be able to neck rein him through the holes and stuff. In the morning, it's neck reining, like you would do a Western pleasure horse, where the rein lies on the neck and they move away from it. And when he's have the racing tack on, then it's more the English style where you pull on the line to make him turn. But he'd probably do it neck reining too if you wanted him to. Well, I tell him when he's in the racing tack, he's a racehorse. And when he's in the pony tack, he's a pony.
Racing across the nation, where we follow all the top stakes races throughout North America. Racing Across the Nation is brought to you in memory of Jeff Robinson, owner and breeder at Heron Acres.
Today on our Racing Across the Nation part of the program, you're going to be looking at two exciting races that could have a major impact on the Breeders' Cup coming up later in the year. First up, you're going to be going to Belmont Park, New York. You're going to be looking at the Grade 1, $200,000 Dwyer Stakes. In this race, there are two horses you want to pay particular attention to. One is the number 2 horse, Drosselmeyer, who is the odds-on favorite, and Fly Down, trained by Hall of Fame trainer Nick Zeal.
Around the far turn. And Carnivore has a narrow lead. Soaring Empire right there. Fly Down coming with a sweeping move on the far outside. And Drosselmeyer looms in behind the horses that take the way to the top of the stretch. Off the turn into the stretch. Soaring Empire and Fly Down. Drosselmeyer switched to the outside. Carnivore fades. Remand far outside. Fly Down has come away with the lead. And Fly Down strikes the 8th pole. Clear by 4. Drosselmeyer runs in second. Then Remand on the outside. And Soaring Empire toward the rail. Looking very good indeed was Fly Down by 6 commanding lengths to win the Dwyer over Drosselmeyer, Remand, and Soaring Empire.
Next up, we take you down I-5. You're going to visit Hollywood Park Racetrack in Southern California. The race you're going to be watching is the Grade 2, $150,000 Mervyn Leroy handicap. It's for older horses. Horses to watch, rather one horse to watch is the promising Breeders' Cup hopeful, and he's number 6, Rail Trip.
3 furlongs from the wire in the Mervyn Leroy, and he's a length in front of Rail Trip in second. Sangaree is 3 deep in third. Dakota Phone stays at the rail, 2 off the lead. Cigar Man is next. Loosed his now. Gotta go. 3 deep and 5 from the front. Art Currency is the trailer, and we have a new leader. It's Rail Trip. Rail Trip takes over the lead at the top of the stretch. He's suddenly a length and a half in front of Sangaree. Trace Baracho's Dakota Phone between horses. To the outside, Loosed his now, and Rail Trip is clear, and Rail Trip is gone. Rail Trip far in front. Sangaree is second. Then Trace Baracho's Rail Trip. Yes.
Time now for Sport of Kings Trivia. Here is today's trivia question. The Kentucky Derby weight of 126 pounds was established in 1920. Since then, only one rider has ridden over that weight. Name that rider. Well, the answer for you in just a minute. Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back. Time now for the answer to today's trivia question. In 1971, Bobby Parrott rode Saigon Warrior at 127 pounds. He earned the moniker the only fat guy to ride in the Derby. Can't get enough trivia? Check out the Derby Bar and Grill Daily Trivia Contest at derbybarandgrill.com. The Sport of Kings shines its camera on the equine heroes competing for glory in the biggest weekly Hastings race. We call it our Race of the Week. The race of the week is brought to you by Nick's Spaghetti House. Nick's Spaghetti House, combining great food in a horse racing atmosphere.
Today on our Race of the Week, brought to you by Nick's Spaghetti House, you're going to be looking at the older horses who are competing. In the $50,000 George Rowe Stakes, it's run at 6.5 furlongs. This is a race that any of the entrants that you're about to watch could be the victor.
Seminole Brave is owned by Fran Snow and G&G Stable. Seminole Brave has been working well coming into this year's first stake race. He might prefer a softer track.
I'd rather be in the outside, more in the middle of the bunch, but he's got enough speed to get out of there and keep himself out of trouble, I think.
Texas Wildcatter is owned by Glenn Todd and Patrick Kinsella. Texas Wildcatter's always knocking at the door and has won big at this track.
It's been working pretty good. I gallo him a little bit, and then he's feeling really, really well right now. It's going to be interesting. It's a tough race, a lot of speed.
Almost Time is owned by Swift Thoroughbreds. Almost Time is coming off a strong performance in his season opener. He'll be near the lead today.
He's a pretty nice horse. We had him last year. He kind of got a little sidetracked with a few little minor injuries, and he came back great a couple weeks ago. He came out of his race in super shape. Just hoping he doesn't bounce.
Tommy Danziger is owned by Edgar Smith. Tommy Danziger makes his second start off a fantastic 3-year-old campaign.
He's trained awfully well this spring. We got a little 6 furlong dash into him, which isn't really his game in his first start. So we're looking for longer races as well. But this week we should have some run in the end.
Woom Broom Express is owned by Quint McCabe, E. Kerr, and 3 of Diamond Stable. Woom Broom Express is coming off a great 2009 season and tackles a tough group for his first start of 2010.
Working very well, incredibly fast. He's a speed horse, looks like the speed of the race. Hopefully it'll set up nice and it'll play catch me if he can.
Teide is owned by Swift Thoroughbreds. Teide's coming off a career season, including posting a 100 bear. His biggest competitor might be his stablemate.
You got a couple of speed, a little bit inconsistent on the speed. I'm not real fussy about that because I can place him accordingly. Like again, I'm just looking for him to show up. If he shows up, we're going to be the horse to outrun.
And now, let's enjoy this strong field of older horses. They're going 6.5 furlongs. They're going for a purse of 50 grand.
There they go. Field of 6 older runners sent on the way to George Royal and Woom Broom Express. Right on the early lead. Tommy Danziger, Seminole Brave. Teide showing good early speed. Texas Wildcatter. Almost Time is the trailer as they head to the clubhouse turn. They're trying to gear down now the opening quarter. And Woom Broom Express takes the field into the clubhouse turn with a little over a length advantage. It's Teide in second. Texas Wildcatter on the outside third. Tommy Danziger fourth. Seminole Brave fifth by 2. Almost Time the trailer. He has about 7 to make up. Opening quarter in 22-1. They're midway on the backstretch and Woom Broom Express. Teide putting pressure on from the outside. Texas Wildcatter. Tommy Danziger. Ground-saving trip for Almost Time. And Seminole Brave. Into the far turn they go and a quarter mile to home. The half up in 45 flat. And Teide on the outside now by a head. Woom Broom Express second by a length. Tommy Danziger followed by Texas Wildcatter. Almost Time now to the outside. Down the lane they come into George Royal, and it's Teide, Woom Broom Express, Tommy Danziger, Almost Time, Texas Wildcatter. But an impressive score by Teide. He wins it by 4. Tommy Danziger second, photo for third, Almost Time, and Woom Broom Express.
Run us to the race for our viewers.
I just wanted to place him. I knew the one. I kind of wanted to get him into position. He was there, again, easier than I anticipated, so I just kind of waited until I felt like going, and it was just let him go.
Watching from the grandstand, you had so much horse going in that first turn. Was it the way it looked?
Yes, it was. That's what I meant. Once I put him into it, well, he'll rate, but yet he's a confident rate. You know, I mean, he'll take a hold of you, but he's not a runoff type. It looks a little more, you know, mind you, I had a heck of a hold, don't get me wrong.
It does look like a runoff type.
Yeah, but I kind of put him into the race. I needed to, going 6.5 position, and that I kind of wanted to, so it was my doing, not so much as him being strictly that kind of a horse.
as much as me as focusing him and putting him into that predicament.
He's one of the nicer horses I've trained, and I've trained a couple nice ones. So he's easy to train once you get him going. He's a stud colt, so he likes to play and have a good time, and he's a good feeling horse. So it's we need a pony to kind of bring him onto the racetrack and that sort of thing. But once he gets going, he's actually not that hard a horse to train. He works as fast or slow as you want him to work. He eats up great, and so he's in a lot of ways a pretty easy horse to train.
Today on our Salute to the Champions, brought to you by the Vancouver Province, we take you back only 1 year. We're going to be watching the 2009 Preakness Stakes, and of course you know what that means. You're going to get another chance to watch the amazing Rachael Alexandra take this to the wire. Good race.
The Salute to the Champions is brought to you by the Province Sports, where you can read Tommy Walski's column, Hoss Talk, every Friday. The Province Sports, it all starts here.
Big drama. It's off to a good start. Musket Man is there too. Here's Rachael Alexandra on the far outside, Pioneer of the Nile, and Freezing Fire has some early speed too. So they pass by us for the first time, and Velasquez is taking Big Drama well out into the track. Farthest out though, it is Rachael Alexandra. Being taken a bit wide going into that first turn here. Freezing Fire is third, Pioneer of the Nile is fourth. Take the Point is fifth on the outside as the filly gets floated wide. Then Papa Clum was down sixth toward the rail. General Quarters is seventh and Musket Man is eighth. And then it's Tone It Down is winning ninth on the outside. A break of 5 back to Wayne Lucas's 2 runners, Flying Private and Love Gov. And they're followed by Terrain and Mind That Bird. The Derby winner, where he was in the Derby at this point, he is last. Now about 12 lengths from the lead. Strong enough is the pace for him to run into. It was a 46 3/2 mile, and the filly's in front. She's in front early on here. Rachael Alexandra narrowly, Big Trauma, still going to stay right with her all the way. Freezing Fire looms back in third position. Half mile to go in the Preakness. On the inside, Papa Clem runs along in for it. Far outside, Pioneer of the Nile. Now running in fifth. From the back of the pack, Mind That Bird. 13th, 12th, 11th, and he's 10th now. And there's 3 furlongs to go. Mind That Bird beginning to roll. Around the far turn here at Pimlico, Rachael Alexandra, the leader by 2 as the field turns for home. Big Drama running in second now. Mind That Bird looks for a way through, and he had to go way outside for it. Musket Man toward the inside. Rachael Alexandra's in front with 1 furlong to go. Musket Man moves to second. Mind That Bird is third on the outside. The filly trying to hold on. She's clear by 3. Mind That Bird runs at her late. Here's the wire. And the filly did it! Rachael Alexandra has defeated the Kentucky Derby winner, Mind That Bird, by 3/4 of a length.
Okay, that's it for this edition of the Sport of Kings. And once again, on behalf of everyone here, we would like to say thank you for allowing us to spend this last half hour with you on this Saturday morning. But before we go, we want to remind you, if by some chance you missed some part of today's program, don't worry. We're going to be repeating this program next Saturday. Keep them straight. Remember, we might be looking at you on that final turn. Have a good weekend. We open up today's program with a look at one of Canada's top jockeys who happens to be riding here. His name is Quincy Jones. In the interview, you're... Quincy Jones. That's why you told her don't say nothing. Yeah. We open up today's program with a look... We open up today's program with a visit one of Canada's top riders. His name is Quincy... I almost did it. Okay.
Oh, you can have a time with this now.
Okay. Okay. We open up today's program with a look